Okay, now let's talk about a ritual I did, or a thing which I did at one point, which led to a result, but the result was in many ways a failure, and I want to think about why it was a failure specifically. The intention was, as I was in college, this was obviously a long time ago because I'm now quite long in the tooth, as it were, especially in YouTube terms. I mean, I'm your great great grandfather. I was there in the old times. Anyway, what was this experiment? Okay, I was on my bed and I decided I was going to meditate and I was going to send a message to him that he must work harder because he was a nice guy and I thought he could, if he did well in life, it would be really rather good, wouldn't it? So I sat down in my meditation, got really relaxed, did my opening of the chakras. Essentially, I did the body scan meditation because I learned the version of that through my practices with astral projection through the book by Sylvan Muldoon and Harewood Carrington called The Projection of the Astral Body. Okay, which you must of course get a copy of and read. Your life does not depend upon it, but it's one of the best books on the subject ever. Okay, so I was in this relaxed state. And I kind of like imagine my energy going up and traveling to him, and I imagined a scenario of meeting in the dance hall, and me just like grabbing him and shouting, "You must work harder." And I thought maybe that would do it, and then I sort of ended it and carried on with the rest of my day or night or whatever it was. Obviously, this is like a quarter of a century ago, so you get what you're given, okay. And then it was about 9 months later, Christmas time. So this is a Christmas story. Okay, this is a Christmas video. Christmas time, I was getting wasted with him, and I met up with my sister and with him, and we had a few beers. And he said, "I had this really weird dream about 9 months ago. And Nick met me in the dance hall, and he grabbed me by the shirt, and he was shouting, 'You must work harder. You must work harder.'" It was so funny. That was interesting. But what had I done and what hadn't I done? I mean, I hadn't turned him into someone who worked harder. He became even worse of a drunk than I was, okay? Much worse. I mean, I mucked up my young days. He mucked up his young days pretty royally as well, okay? And he didn't actually work harder. So what had I done? I'd actually sent a message. There was something about the feeling of that one particular experience which shows that I was sending a message and I was not sending an intention. Because I guess an intention is something which can change the energy appropriately in order to make something happen, and the message is something which feels different. Like the message is something sent as a result of the bioplasmic energy interaction maybe, but the intention, that must operate on a different level. But it must feel different. So if I was to then go back to the experiment which I did, you doing the chanting, which then led up to me making a wish that I could see the vision of the future in my dreams, and hey presto, a boom explosion of spiritual energy out of my body, feeling like a shockwave. Very gentle, very subtle, but still tangible to me at the time. And then hey presto, for a long period of time afterwards, I got the prophetic visions of the future in my dreams, and they were all accurate. Frighteningly so. So that's something where I sent an intention out, and the intention then did something because I exploded the energy out of me, okay? But when I did this thing when I was lying in meditation, sending the energy to this guy of "you must work harder," it wasn't an intention. It was the sending of like astral energy or spirit energy. It's there for a different operation entirely. And that's why information got delivered rather than necessarily the change in his personal status. And of course I didn't know much about radionics then, so I couldn't actually like douse various things and try and change his energy field without him knowing about it. So that's me telling you a Christmas story about, or Yuletide story, or Saturnalia story, whatever it is that makes you feel happy. I don't know, I don't care anymore, okay? The common midwinter holiday. How's that? Right. Anyway, common midwinter holiday story of when something went wrong. Okay, it wasn't like the world came to an end, but I got it wrong. But something weird did happen, and from that something weird thing, we can then learn something. Do you see what I'm saying? The difference between sending an intention and sending a communication in terms of the way in which the energy feels and the energy flows when you're moving it. Season's greetings to one and all. and may you all receive bounty of the laughing guy with a beard and stuff, the man with a bag, you know him.